So we'll look at 11.3 now on page 104 of your workbook. And now we're going to be using those skills that we learned in 11.1 and 11.2 in order to find a specific missing piece. And we're going to be using the Pythagorean theorem too, which we've covered in section 10.3. That was on page 86 if you need to go back and look at it. So here's how this works. We're trying to find whatever missing piece they tell us. So we have to look at what we have. Generally there should be the right angle marked, and across from it we can find the hypotenuse. And then there should be another angle that's marked. And we know across from it is opposite, and adjacent, and the other side that's left is adjacent. So in this case, we're going to use this angle 50 degrees because it's given to us. And we're trying to find the adjacent, and we know the hypotenuse. So which trig function, we have to ask ourselves, uses adjacent and hypotenuse? And that would be the cosine. So we'll write cosine in front of that 50. And cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So A over 21. So we can do the cosine of 50 in our calculator, and we get 0.64278, and that equals A over 21. Now this is A that's being divided by 21, so we want to multiply both sides by 21. And that gives us over here 13.498. It keeps going. And we need to look at our significant digits here. Here we had 2, here we had 2, so we want this to be 2. The number after the 3 is a 4, which tells us to leave it the same. So we'll have A is 13. Let's look at example 2. So here's our right triangle, so across from that is the hypotenuse. This is the angle that's given to us, so across from it is opposite, and next to it would be adjacent. So we're going to use the 71 degrees. We know the opposite, and we're trying to find the hypotenuse. So those are the two pieces that we need to look for in our trig function, opposite and hypotenuse. That would be sine, because sine is opposite, which is 10, over hypotenuse, which is C. So let's find the sine of 71 first. That'd be 0.945518 equals 10 over C. Now here's the problem. In this case, 10 is being divided by C, so we have to multiply by C. And that would give us 0.945518C equals 10. We need to get this C by itself, so we need to divide by all this part that's in front, 0.945518. So we take 10 divided by 0.945518, and we get that C is equal to 10.5762. Now this is two significant digits, and 71 is two significant digits, so we'll round this to the nearest whole number. 5 tells us to go up, so C is 11. So here we're trying to find F. F is right here. Here's our right angle, so the cross from it is our hypotenuse. Here's the angle that we're given. Across from it would be opposite, and next to it would be adjacent. So we need something that uses adjacent and hypotenuse, and that would be our cosine of 37 equals adjacent, which is F, over hypotenuse, which is 29. This is F divided by 29, so we'll need to multiply by 29. So this is really 29 times the cosine of 37 to get F. And sometimes or it's actually more accurate if we wait to type anything in until we have the letter by itself. And then we can type in all of this at once, and then you don't have to write a whole bunch of weird long numbers down either. So we'll just type in 29 times the cosine of 37, enter. And we get that F is equal to 23.16042. Again, these are both two significant digits, so that means the 3 will stay a 3, and we'll call it 23. Now this is a little bit different because now it's asking for angle D. So here's D. Here's our right angle, so let's label the hypotenuse first. And then we'll go back to D. Across from D is opposite, and next to D is adjacent. So this time we're trying to use something that uses opposite and adjacent, which is tangent. So we have tangent of D, that's our angle, has to go next to the trig function, equals 5 over 12, opposite over adjacent. So remember, we're trying to get D by itself. We're trying to move, this time, the tangent. We can't really divide by tangent because it's not tangent times D. But remember how we found angles in our last section? We did second tangent of, in this case it would be 5 divided by 12. So it's second tangent, 5 divided by 12. And that gives us 22.61. We'll round to the nearest degree. So this tells us that we need to go up. And we'll label it as 23 degrees. So here we're trying to find B. Let's first of all look at our right angle because this tells us where the hypotenuse is. And then we're given this angle right here is 62, so the 45 would be opposite, and the B would be adjacent. We're looking at opposite and adjacent, those are the two sides that are marked, so we're going to use tangent again. So tangent of 62 is equal to opposite over adjacent. This again is one of those weird ones where the letter's in the bottom, so we have to move the letter, multiply by the letter first. So we get B times the tangent of 72 equals 45. And then divide by the tangent of 72 to get the letter by itself. So B is equal to 45 divided by tangent of 72. So now you can type all of that into your calculator at the same time. Do 45 divided by tangent 72, enter, and B is equal to 14.62138. We'll round to the nearest whole number, so this tells us to go up. So B is 15.